Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Experience, the Target Individual Program. This is a continuation of discussion, information, and exposing the criminal coercive persuasion program, as well as exposing the non-consensual human experiment program by the U.S. government, the CIA, the FBI, the state and local police departments who have engaged in illegally microchipping uh, individuals for the purpose of what is called remote neural monitoring. They've also engaged in the coercive persuasion program in order to criminalize, to destroy the victim's character, to destroy the victim's mental health and mental stability, to destroy the victims' lives, financially ruin them, socially ostracize them, as well as remove them from society through what is called self-isolation, using various tactics, techniques, and psychological conditioning to do so. And all this is done to discredit those of us who call ourselves targeted individuals who have spoken out against what is being done to us, what has been done, is being done, and continue to be done to us. And so this is what I'm doing. This has been my calling for the past 16 years, ever since realizing that I was in this program, understanding what was done to me prior to being aware that I was in this program, the tactics and the setups, the frame-ups that was used in order to create a narrative that the architect of these programs want to create, in order to use that to get the community, to get family members and friends to participate in uh, the psychological harassment, psychological coercive nature, and to try to coerce the targets, me myself, into what is called manufactured consent in order for them to continue to do what they're doing to us. Okay, which is to experiment on us using this technology, such as direct energy weapons, okay, based on microwave technology as well as radio wave technology, mind control technology like silent sound spectrum, technology in which you use the sound to condition someone to engage in a psychological destruction of an individual, such as devices such as voice to skull, as well as bone conduction technology. Also, to see the effect of other directed energy weapons, such as vibrational acoustic technology, which had been used on me early on in my targeting, that caused a serious spinal injury. And also the remote neural monitoring through the microchip, which has caused me headaches. Um, it has caused the destruction of my short-term memory, um, as well as brain injury, which I have shown through MRI scans that I put up on my YouTube channel. You guys can look for the video, you guys will see it. Um, but yeah, this is the type of thing that they're doing. Other TIs, my twin brother, who has been a TI for well over 25 years, had also suffered the same spinal injury as well as brain injury. And as well, because of the stress placed on him while being in this program, has an enlarged heart, all right, which has caused him great difficulty in terms of physicality, and you know, and also they've psychologically damaged him, um, you know, and so I'm just here trying to expose what they're doing and just let people know what's going on. Okay. So I want to talk about. Let's see here. I want to talk about this. Um, the manipulation of the victims of this program. Okay. And on the website psychologicalharassment.com, in the section called psychological manipulation, there's a whole host of information about what it is that they're doing. And I want to talk about, it says, ideation to manipulate victims, right? And it says people can be led to believe things that are false in order to manipulate them and even try to drive them to suicide or to harm others. For example, a person can be led to believe that they are about to be fired or constantly on the verge of being fired to induce stress, paranoia, and insecurities. Another example is to lead the person to believe that they will be sued or going bankrupt, will be falsely accused, resulting in prison time, will never be employed again, or lose their spouses. And this is something that they constantly do with me in terms of losing. Well, I'm not married, but losing the kid's mom and stuff like that. Which I mean, listen, if it happens, it happens. I don't really care. I shouldn't say I wouldn't really care, but there's nothing I can do about it. And again, the use of the cops to intimidate and just try to say, well, they're going to arrest me, what have you. And so now they have to come up with some fake crime or what have you, and they have to get people, usually women. If you're a man, if you're a male TI, they usually use women against you. Okay, something that's called honey traps. So you have to be aware of that. Okay, used with degrading themes, the victim can be led to believe that they will be labeled a pedophile or used as a prostitute, and this is what a lot of uh, the women TIs have been saying. Okay, that the perpetrators control the world and that the victim must obey. Okay, so then it goes down to beneficial intention to deceive victim. Some victims may not understand why someone would do this to them, or how some people can do this to others, what the motive are for doing this to them, and therefore can be deceived into believing the phenomenon is of beneficial intention. And this is where they try to do with me, whereas because I've been microchipped, from time to time they'll send this father who's always with his son, and the son, I believe, is he's had difficulty walking, and I'm not going to say if he's a quadriplegic, but he does move. But the fact is that his son doesn't communicate well, and he's a big kid. I would say his son's probably about 10 or 11 years old, and he has to push him around in a stroller, all right, pretty big stroller. And so from time to time, when they're trying to manufacture consent to silence me, to stop me from talking about it, they try to make me believe that what they're doing to me will benefit society in terms of people like that, okay, from the microchip that they've implanted in my brain. Okay, so let's get to the video. Okay, I just want to talk about that because it's relevant to the video that I'm doing right now. I'm going to explain to you guys, exactly how. Okay. All right, so let's get to the first video. So this was the beginning of the week. Or was it last week? I'm sorry. This was Friday, actually. Yes, this is Friday. So I was on my way to pick up the kids. This might be right. Okay, here's the video. This is the first video. So I was on my way to pick up the kids from school. It's the after-school program, from the after-school program. And I stepped out the apartment building, and there was a school bus driving by. And I've talked about this a lot, the synchronization. tracking you, and how they use civilians to participate and join in the psychological warfare against targeted individuals. And so the school bus driving down, as soon as I walk out the building, and I realized that the use of the number 32 again. Okay. Now, while this was happening, there was a guy that you can't see in the camera. Okay, but he was walking with his dog, and he kept staring at me. And so, okay, I just kind of like, you know, didn't really pay attention to him too much. If I did, I would have just, turned the phone and recorded him. But I didn't do that. So, I went to pick up the kids. And on our way back, the kids and I, as I reach on the block, going to turn the corner, the same guy, he's standing against the building. And I want you to watch how he's looking at my daughter. Okay, so from time to time, they will switch up between staring at my daughter or my son. Okay, and so you'll see him here, and he's staring at my daughter. He's like looking at my daughter, and then he looks at my son. Okay, then he goes back looking at my daughter, and so now, this is what he looks like. This is him, and as you see, he does this. Okay, basically saying if I don't shut up, they're gonna do the exact same thing to my kids what they do to me. Okay, you guys, I've shown you enough videos of people doing that right in front of me. Or they'll, I think there was a couple of videos I did where you see little kids were staring at my kids doing the same thing. They were like, so they will use children, okay, to target my kids. All right, and I've had a lot of issue with children bullying my kids in school because of this, because their parents are part of this cult, and the parents, okay, are involved in teaching their kids to bully my kids. So when we have we have a big issue in this country with kids bullying other kids, okay, and they're learning this from home. They're learning this from their parents, because the parents, and these are, to what I believe to be people who are in religion and in religious cults, okay, that are engaging in these type of behavior. But this is the lower level, okay? On the top level are those within the police department who give these civilian perpetrators information about the targets, okay? Then on top of the local and state police department, you have those within the upper echelon of law enforcement, like the FBI, and then above the FBI, we have the CIA and the Department of Defense. Okay, and they're the ones who are developing these technologies, such as the microchip for remote door monitoring, the directed energy weapons. Okay, the mind control technology weapons like silent sound spread spectrum. And then they're testing it out on civilians because they need real world results, experimentation to give them real world results. And unfortunately, myself, my brother, others have been selected to be experimented on. Okay, so this is what's happening. And unlike past victims of non-consensual human experimentation, we live in a day and age where we have cell phones, where we can record images, pictures, okay, in real time. And we have computers with software to edit videos, to lighten them up, what have you, manipulate them, what have you. And I don't really manipulate my videos, except for I may lighten the image so you can see better, and that's all I do. But those within the government, they have software in which they can create, and we only see this in Hollywood, where they can create people from graphical software that looks real, that you can't tell the difference. You cannot tell the difference, right? So, imagine the shit that they can do. Okay, but anyway, so you see this guy here again. He's looking at my kids, and then he goes like this, because they're trying to silence me. And again, you'll see the police, and what the police have been doing lately is because you see, I said police. You hear the car honking to give me confirmation that, yeah, the police are the ones that uh, involve my target. I already know this. They don't need to give me confirmation, but they do it because of the narcissistic, psychopathic mentality and nature that they have. Okay, because psychopaths and not narcissistic people, they want you to know that what it is that they're doing to you. So a psychopath, he wants you to know he's going to kill you. He's going to, maim you or hurt you in a serious way. He wants you to know that. Narcissistic people, they're a little bit more subtle about what it is that they're doing, but believe me, they want you to know. But they gaslight you, so it causes you to doubt yourself and question yourself on what you think is happening to you. So that's the difference, right? So anyway, this is what's happening here. So he's doing this, okay, again, trying to silence me, and this is their way of trying to shut me up. Or you'll see them, and I'm not trying to target anybody, but you'll see them do this, and I've shown a video where they've done that, or they cover them out like this to try to shut me up. Okay, which is never going to happen. Then on top of that, they will microwave us. Okay, they will use silent sound spread spectrum on the kid's mom to target me, and I'm going to explain to you how they've always changed their method whenever I confront her and talk to her about it, so that she'll be aware of it. Then they do something else and change their tactics, right? So what happened is that when they keep conditioning her, with different methods to target me, and I confront her about it, it gets to that point where it's like, well, there isn't anything I can do or say that's not going to make you feel like I'm, targeting you in some way. And so what I have to do, I have to pick and choose, So a lot of stuff I just don't, I ignore and stuff like that. Other stuff, because I've been conditioned to it in some of the most worst way or repeated pattern, that it becomes difficult. So yeah, those things I'll say something about. Okay, so again, so this guy here, he's standing at the wall, and you see as I start recording, he gets off the wall and starts walking away. Okay, this is what these people do. Okay, all right, okay, so let's move on to the next video. And there's a lot of videos that I have, again, that I can't go through every single one of them. It's just too many. So I just have to pick and choose the ones that I think is relevant to the video which I'm going to do. Now, again, they started using the police again, but they started to do it in a very subtle way, where the police will do things behind me. If I'm driving, they'll be behind me, flashing their lights, right? And they will they're very slick about it now. Right? Okay. So this is Sunday night, because I went home Saturday morning. Pam had a function for her job that she went to. So I went home Saturday morning, and this is Sunday afternoon. I'm heading back over to her apartment. Now, I got in the car. Immediately as I get in the car, okay, so when I say just got in the car, a look who comes. Pull up right across the street from where I'm parked. Okay. Now, again, the neighborhood that I live in, and I'm gonna put this into context, right? The neighborhood that I live in, it's not a bad neighborhood. Okay, yes, there's crime, but you see in my videos, the minute I step out of my house, there's a police car going by. The minute I get in the car, there's a police car going by. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 police cars parked up on my block when I exited my apartment building. My neighborhood is not a crime-ridden neighborhood. for there to be so much police presence, particularly on my block, and particularly whenever I leave my apartment building. Okay? There's just no way. There's no way. You people who may live in big cities, you know, can probably tell me if I'm wrong. Okay? But I don't think so. Listen, even in Chicago where there's all this crime going on, there is no police presence like they do around me or they have around me, any individual. Because when there's killing happening in Chicago, the police are not around. They only come around after somebody's being killed. They have never caught a person who shot somebody on the street or at a party in Chicago that the police was right around the corner. But the minute I stepped out of my house, the police are right there. The minute I get into the car, the police are right there. Right? I haven't shot, killed, or do anything to anybody. But again, they trying to silence me and intimidate me into silence because I've been implanted with a microchip. Okay? And they don't want me to expose what it is that they did to me. But I'm exposing it. Okay? Now also, I want you guys to pay attention. Okay, so they're behind this vehicle, this van, right? And pay attention to the color. It's a white van. Because again, this coercive persuasion program, the use of color, is something that we as TI have been conditioned to. Okay, into our subconscious, the color is a trigger, right? That is connected to an anchor. It could be an emotional anchor, could be a thing, a person, certain message. So, you know, just pay attention to that because it's going to be relevant. No, I sat in a car to see if they will drive off, right? And then I started saying, you know what? Probably if I pull out of that parking space, then they're gonna follow behind me. But they did something different, and I'm glad I was able to get it on camera. Now, when they saw that I was recording them, okay, watch what they did. Mhm. Okay, so let me. I sat there for a few minutes, so let me skip some of this because I want to show you guys when I was okay. Here we go. All right. So at this point here, okay, is where I'm going to start pulling out the parking space. Okay, so here I am pulling out of the parking space. Immediately when they saw that I'm pulling out of the parking space, they opened their car door. See that? See, now they can see that my phone is turned, so I'm recording them. Because he looks over and he saw that. And he sat there in this vehicle, right? He doesn't want to come out. Why? Because he doesn't want to be identified on camera. So you'll see what he's going to do. Okay, he's in there doing these hand signals. It's dark, you guys can't see it. Now he closed his door. He didn't get out of his vehicle. Okay, he closed his door. Okay. So now, okay, so let's go here. Right? That's a little bit too far because again, I want to show you guys something. All right. So I'm leaving. Okay. Yeah, cars are parked up. There's no car in front of me. So I pulled up behind a vehicle. Okay. Now we're both turning in the same direction. Okay. Remember I talked about the van and the color of that van. Okay. So the vehicle I pull up behind is a white SUV. So the color white is at play here now. Okay. So let's skip this. Let's keep going. Okay, let's go on to the next video. The next video. Okay, is that it? Okay, so hold up. Did I? Okay. All right. So this is the next video. I think I had it in front of the other video. Let's play that again. Okay. That's that. And let's see what's this video here. Okay, that's that one. No. Goes there. Let's go to that. Okay. All right. I seem to somehow placed a video. Let's see here. Okay, no. 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 You have to excuse me. Just trying to see what I did with that other video. Yes, I must have. I'll be right back. I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna find that video. Okay, so I was able to import the video. I had it there. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so let's continue. Okay. What do we got here? All right. So now you see the guy drove by on the bike, right? Again, this is again psychological warfare. So you'll see. So the guy drove by on the bike. Okay. Let me go back so you guys can see. Let's go back. Okay. He's gonna come up any second now. All right, there you go. Right there on the bike. Okay. Okay. So now you see this guy on the sidewalk. Okay, it's dark, so you can just see a silhouette of him. So you see he raised his hand over his head like that. Again, this type of signals that they do, hand signal that they'll do. Okay, and so now the guy on the bike, he just stops. Okay, he's just waiting. What is he waiting for? Okay, because again, this is all coordinated. This is all planned, premeditated acts, right? That they've been trained into do it. Okay. And again, me putting my hand behind the head is not meant to target anybody. If you feel like you're being targeted, if you're a TI, I apologize. I'm just trying to illustrate what the individual was doing. And because it was dark, you couldn't really see it except for the dark silhouette. Okay. So let me just skip past this again, because you'll see, right? So here I am. I'm on Pam's block, and I saw a car at the uh, tip on the block, and the person had the engine running because I can see the exhaust smoke coming out. So I drove up to that vehicle, and again, you'll see a white car here, right? White BMW, and then the car. I see the exhaust uh, fumes. Again, this car is white, right? So this person was just sitting in their car having the engine running. When I asked him if he was leaving, he told me no. Let me see if I can show you guys. So you hear me say if you're coming out. He says no, right? So I said, okay, fine. So I reversed back on the block, and another car was coming out, right? Because as I'm reversing, there's another car coming out. It's interesting because there was a car that was right behind this vehicle, right? But the person waited until I got close as I'm reversing back to turn on their lights so I can see, so that I can get the parking. And again, the car that's coming out, again, it's a white vehicle, okay? So again, this is all pre-planned, premeditated, and this is how they get you to how they condition you. This is how they condition you, right, to certain colors and stuff like that, right? Okay, so what is this here? Okay, so here I am. This is Monday morning, okay, or yesterday, I should say, and I'm getting ready to take the kids to school. We're in the car, and just pull out the parking space, started recording. Okay, and first car when I turn, a white car. Okay, coming in the opposite direction. So again, the theme will continue. It may not be repetitive in terms of frequency, but it's repetitive in terms of the spacing, right? In terms of which these white cars will show up now. Now, I'm not really concerned about the white car. I don't give a damn what kind of subliminal message they're trying to send. Now, you see as I'm driving down here, you'll see this individual here standing at the corner, okay? As I approach him, you'll see him starts to grab on his clothes. He starts to, just start moving his hands and grabbing all over himself. See that? See his hands? As he's moving, he's touching himself. He's touching himself. His hands goes up. He's looking at me now. Looking directly at me. This is him. Looking directly at me while he's doing all these things, right? So again, this is what these people do. This is how they get your attention. And they're not recording, sometimes they don't care. But again, I'm able to explain it in a way that shows there's a pattern of harassment with these people and what it is that they do and the psychological nature of their coercive persuasion program. All right. And so you'll see him there again. He's touching himself, looking. Okay. Let's go. All right. So I kind of wanted to show that, and there are other videos, but I'm just going to skip past them. Like I said, there's just too many, and my videos have been getting longer and longer. The past couple of videos I've done have been very long, so I don't want to get into this point where I'm doing very long videos because people are not really going to look at it, right? Okay, so this is I had to take Pam to work after dropping the kids up to school, so I got all those videos which I'm not gonna show, but it's like I said, interesting that again the last video that I did, there'd been a couple of days after that where I basically hardly saw any police presence, and now at the beginning of this week started to see heavy police presence again, because what they've done again, like I said, if they've changed up their tactic, right? So they started doing stuff behind me as I'm driving. They'll turn on or they'll flash their lights behind me, but then we'll turn it off when they pass me, or they're about to pass me, they will turn off their lights, right? So this is what has been going on, what they've been doing. And plus on top of that, they have the civilian perpetrators will walk behind the car and those civilian perpetrators who are coming towards me was in the car, they will signal them to let them know that I'm not recording, and then they will stand up in front of the car and start doing all these hand signals, stuff like that. And the minute that I reach to they see me reach into the phone to start recording them, they'll leave, right? They'll run out the way. Okay, so again, this is how they change up their tactics after I show exactly what it is that they're doing and how they're doing it. So now they have to switch up their tactics totally. Now we know as targets, this is never going to stop. Okay, this is never going to end. This is a daily thing, 365 days a year. Okay, probably till the day we all die as TIs. Okay, and so we have to understand it because they have to keep up the psychological nature because of the psychological narrative what they put out there about targeted individuals, right? Using the psychiatric industry and psychiatric labeling to do it. Okay, all right. So this is this morning, right? And no, I'm sorry, not this morning. This was yesterday after I dropped Pam from work and I came back to get parking, and I parked on this block. And as I parked in this block, again, a white vehicle pulled up and parked in front of me. All right. Then there was a NYPD cruiser that was driving up in the opposite direction, had his lights flashing. Okay. And I didn't record it because I think I was watching a video. All right. Because I was just like, let me watch a video. So I was watching a video on YouTube and I saw the police car pulled up in drive by in the opposite direction. And then as it passed me, I saw that he was making the whoever was in the police vehicle was making a U-turn. So I had to stop watching the video and started recording. So you see the lights are flashing, but no sirens on, right? Okay, so again, so the reason why he came in the opposite direction with the lights flashing because the civilians perpetrators warned or let him know that I wasn't recording. Okay, and that's why that happened. But when I start again, when I looked in my rearview mirror. See, they thought I was watching a video that I wasn't gonna look, but I looked and I saw him make the U-turn behind me, and that's when I took my phone and you see I have my phone low because probably if I had it up high, he probably wouldn't have he probably would have turned off his lights, or he may have uh, turned off onto the block behind me. Okay, so again, this is this is what they do. Okay, so how they change up their tactics in order for me to not show a series or pattern of harassment. Okay, all right. So now this is this morning where I'm taking the kids to school, and okay, so this is me taking the kids to school, and let's see. Um, so hey, I'm waiting for Pam, and because I'm waiting for Pam, you see how I move the the camera, right? You guys will see because I know what's coming. So you'll see I pulled up, parked, right? And what should I do? Okay. Okay, let's move to the next video. Okay, so I had to move the phone so I can get a good uh, field of view of the sidewalk. Okay, so you see I'm reversing back because I want to show these people come out the store. Again, when they come out the store, they do all these hand signals, start targeting me. Okay. All right. That's okay. Here's the first civilian perp. Again. So now here the skit is going to start. Right. And there are different phases. Okay. This is just phase one that I pulled up. Okay. He's standing there looking at the sky. She comes. She takes out her phone, looks at it. This guy comes out eating a banana. Remember I talked about them using the, usually in my targeting, what they would do is walk in the street, walk in front of me with a banana in their hand. After, I was given a psychiatric label, all of a sudden those people start showing up with bananas in their hand. Oh, he's bananas, he's crazy. They'll start walk by saying stuff like that. Okay. So now he puts it in the garbage, and immediately as he puts it in the garbage, the banana skin, you see this guy here. He start looking at me. All right, let's go back a little. Okay, everything is coordinated. Okay, comes out. Watch. Immediately as he throws it in the garbage, they both turned. Okay, he's going to turn. The guy that's standing there in the blue jacket looks at me. The other guy starts touching his clothing, looks into his hand, the palm of his hand, turns around. Okay, look at that. Watch this. Starts grabbing on his clothes. Okay, that's phase one. Okay, see this girl going into the store? All right, now I missed that. So here's phase two. All right, let me go back again. Here's phase two. All right, so you're gonna see a young lady. Okay, it's her right here. You'll see this young lady here with the pink headband. Also, she bows her head as she's walking towards me. Now, see this guy across the street? She covers his mouth as he's walking. All right. You'll see him here. He's going to come. Again, he's going to stand up at the corner. And this is phase two. Okay. So now he's waiting because all of this is planned out. Right. So he's waiting because, again, this is street theater. And this is timing. Okay. Walks, looks at me. Turns around. You'll see he takes his hand out of his pockets, grab his behind. Okay. That's what he did. Grabs his behind. All right. Now watch. See this woman come across? She's walking here. She does the hand behind the back. Again, I'm not trying to target anybody, but I want to show when she does that, okay, he starts walking back. Okay. So let's go. I'll show you guys. After he grabs his butt, See, grabs his butt. Now turns around. Here she comes. Again, see the hand behind the back? Okay? And he's going to start walking back. Okay? So that's phase 2. Okay? Now we're going to get to phase 3. Alright, let's get to the next video. That's phase 3. Uh, okay, again, I don't know what happened. I gotta find that video. Okay. Alright, so I don't know what's happening because I've loaded these videos and all of a sudden they just, can't find them. Okay, so I'm suspecting that they probably have something to do with it. You're talking about cyber stalking, uh, illegal access to someone's computer to delete and remove documents, files, videos, or what have you. So here's phase 3. So again, after what happened, with the guy across the street grabbing us behind, the woman coming across. Okay, we'll see phase 3. Okay, so now you see a police car shows up, right? And guess what happened? So as they was driving towards me, and I looked in my rearview mirror, they had their lights flashing. Okay. Now watch this again. This is phase 3. Now watch this young lady right here. How she does. She's yawning, right? Again, this is what they do, and this is how the police use civilians. And I talk about third party or third person, the use of third person. Forget the word here, but what they'll do is that because they can't, let's say they want to give me the middle finger. So what they'll do, since the police officer won't do it because I'm recording, they don't want to be caught on video doing that to me, they'll drive past, they'll walk past, and then they'll have a civilian look at them and then give me the middle finger, and then they'll walk off, right? So this is what they're doing. Okay? Okay, so this is what they're doing. So let's did I go too far? Let's see here. Okay. I may have missed something. I may have to go back to the next video, guys, because I wanted to show the individuals that was leaving the store, and Just bear with me for a minute here. Let's go back to the other video, which is this one. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Yes. All right. So, because remember I told you guys about the girl that walked, the young woman that walked in the store. Okay, and I, my haste, I kind of forgot about that, and I've been saying for the longest while that, this software that I use is, it's kind of tricky. Okay. All right. So, and this is all part of phase 2, right? And so you'll see her coming out the store at this point. Okay. She's looking, because again, she's looking at, you see this tall kid here, right under this awning? She's looking at him. Okay, because again, this is all planned out. She's doing hand signals. Now she's going to start grabbing her hair, playing with her hair. Okay. Meanwhile, look at her. So now she's looking at him. And what he's doing, he's sticking his finger in his ears, right? Twisting his finger in his ears. So she's looking at him, directly at him. Remember, okay? Look at where the traffic is going. She's looking in the opposite direction of which she needs to look at if she's going to cross the street. All right? Because she needs to see the oncoming traffic. But she's not worried about the traffic. Because again, this is all premeditated and pre-planned. So he's, put his hands in his ears, twisting his ears, and she turns, and you see, look at how she looks at me. She gave me like this look, okay? And then these two guys here walking, bowing their heads, and there he goes again, twisting his hands in his ears, okay? And of course, you can see the color red that he's wearing, a red do-rag. So always the use of that color, okay? So I missed that, but I just remembered it, and I wanted to play that video because it needed to be seen. Okay. All right. So phase 3 with the police, who pulls up soon after that happened. And you can see the walks across. She's yawning again as the cops come out of their car. Right. Again, this is all premeditated, pre-planned. This is street theater. Okay. All of this is set up. Okay. Nothing is happening without pre-plan taking place. Okay. Now let's go. They're gonna leave about the time that Pam is approaching. See, they drive off. This is Pam over here, walking over here. This woman in the blue cap, she bows her head, right? And so now, okay, watch. Now the woman in the blue cap, she start doing the hand signals. Remember I talk about the pointed finger and what that represents, right? Because what happened to me, right? So here's Pam. Now watch her, how she's twirling her finger. I'm just going to let it play. I'm going to go back. Now look at how she's pointing. She's pointing at Pam, twirling her finger. Okay? Again, this is how they cause suspicion and doubt within my mind about Pam's involvement in this. Okay? Still trying to figure it out, and that's the most difficult part. Okay, because again, when I confront her, she says she's not doing anything, she wouldn't be involved in this, but yet these people are doing things to cause me to suspect her of being involved, particularly when they use her to target me. Like I said, when she starts walking around the house with her palm behind her back, or she's walking and she'll turn her wrist so I can see her palm whenever I'm being put through a fixation drill. Okay, she's constantly doing that, and I'm constantly looking. Right? I just feel like I have the urge to look whenever she walks by, and so immediately as I look, she'll do that. Okay, so you see this woman, and she starts twisting her hands. Okay, so let's play the video again. So they're getting in their vehicle. Okay, and again, that's the reason why they turn on their lights behind me, so I can pay attention to them. That's how they get your attention, right? So as they're driving off, they're leaving. Here comes Pam. You see the woman in the blue cap. she crosses the street, you see her bow her head. She looks at Pam, and then she bows her head. Right? As she approaches, she starts twisting her finger, pointing. Okay? Get in the car. And that was phase 3. Okay? That's what that was. Okay? Alright, so now we are approaching this intersection. Okay, let me mute that. Alright, so now we're at the stoplight. Okay, too far. So we're at the stoplight, the light changes. Actually, there's another video that I want to show. It's okay. I'll get back to that video. So taking her to work. Okay, let's go. Let's get past this. Let's see. Okay, let's stop this video. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so I'm almost close to her job. Okay, and I pause this video at this point. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay. So she says to me, this is where I go get my nail spot, Dolphin Spa. Okay. Now I've been driving Pam to work almost every day. Okay. And every time we drive down this block, she's never mentioned to me and never said to me, hey Nigel, this is where I get my nails done. That's why you hear me say where, because I didn't know. Like I said, I've been driving her to work. She's been going to this place to get her nails done, for a long time, and I've been driving her to work for a long time. Never mentioned that before, except for today, this morning, when start again being harassed by the cops, and again when. And so the woman walked by, pointing to her, twirling her index, pointing finger. And so, when she said that, I was like, wait a minute. Because a couple of days ago, not too long ago, this individual, and let me go to the web page. So this individual, this guy, okay, I talked about how where I used to work, he used to be a coworker of mine, and he was like, hey, we should go hang out one night. And we went to this party, and he took he had something wrapped up in foil, and he took it out of his pocket, and he asked me, he said, hey, do you want some? And I'm like, what is that? And he was like, cocaine. And I was like, no. So after that, I never really hang out with him anymore. I just kept it as just casual work talk, and that was it. So after I was laid off from that job, many years later, okay, and this was recently, actually last year, he sends me a friend's request. And I wasn't going to accept it, but I was like, you know what? I'll accept his friend request because I know they're going to use him to send me subliminal message, and I want to expose it. I want to talk about what it is that they're doing. So I accepted his friend request. So a few days ago, like I said, he posted something about who is going to charge the dolphin with sexual assault. Okay, now I'm sure this guy posts a lot of stuff, but it never showed up on my news feed. All right, until recently, you know, he starts posting stuff, and all of a sudden starts showing up on my news feed. And like I said, a couple of days ago, he posted this video about a dolphin that was, I guess, dolphin jumped on this woman and started what looked like the dolphin was humping her. I'm sure the dolphin wasn't humping her. The dolphin was just happy and was just flapping up and down. But then he goes, who's going to charge that dolphin with sexual assault? So I'm like, okay, I was like, after I got in the house and I started thinking about it, and I was like, because I know they've been using Pam to as what is called reward and punishment. So let's say if I didn't do a video for the past couple of days, she will become, I would say, a little bit more affectionate towards me. But then when I started doing the videos a lot more, she gets really, really cold and stuff like that. And trying to use sex as a punishment or a reward type, and using her to convey that, right? So like lately, we haven't been, too good, or what have you. And so I guess they're trying to send me some message that they'll use her to say that I sexually assaulted her, which I would never do, but this is what they're trying to convey, right? And I realized that, like I said, once you've studied these tactics and this program and understand what it is that they're trying to do, how they're trying to do it, you can explain it better, right? And so today now, as I said to myself, I remember that video that Victor posted, about that dolphin. I'm wondering if there's a connection to that, because normally, this is how they try to plant ideas in your head, or try to send you subliminal message and blah blah blah, right? Because the minute they started using the cops again, he sends sends me stuff like this, and then on top of that, he sends me this video, right, of women just showing their breasts and squeezing their breasts. Now I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to get my video blocked on YouTube, but I just paused it to where the woman just she's grabbing her breast, as you can see here, right? So that you guys can see, right? So all of a sudden today now, he sends me a message, right? Again, understanding how these people think and what they do, and how they try to intimidate you, and how they try to send you these subliminal messages, okay? So what? I have not sexually assaulted anyone, so hey, if you know somebody who have sexually assaulted, then hey, go ahead. Okay, I know me and Pam been together for 11 years, so I haven't been with anybody for 11. Okay, right. So I mean, like I said, it's just really, really strange, that this stuff is happening. And again, I recognize it. I recognize the coercion. I recognize the setups and the frame-ups, and I recognize the use of them using Pam through, uh, um, conditioning her mind using what is called silent sound spectrum, and tracking us, and everywhere we go. Uh, whenever we're having issues and we have an argument, all of a sudden, she'll have an influx of texts and calls from, male friends or exes or what have you. So again, trying to tear us and separate us. And I think this goes beyond. This is bigger than just me as TIs, and being a black man, understanding how white supremacy have used these tactics against the black man and the black woman to separate and destroy the black family, and to cause a rift between the black man and the black woman. So I'm looking at the bigger picture at this, not just of what they're just trying to do to me, but they have used this and done this to black people, male and female, in order to destroy the relationships and destroy the family, right? The black family. Okay. Now they are uh, target individuals of different ethnicity and different groups. You know, I'm not saying that it hasn't been done to those groups, but on a whole, the majority, these type of tactics have been used primarily on the vast majority of black people. Okay, and so if anybody get offended by that, I'm not meant to offend anybody, but you know that's just the truth. You can look at it's facts. Okay, from the welfare program, in which they get, in order for black women to get help from the government, they had to kick the black male or the black father, the other parent, out of the household. Okay, all right, because which woman isn't going to, because to feed her kids, if you want to feed your kids, he's not working, he doesn't have a job, you got to kick him out. And guess who's going? The black man's going out the door. Okay, so again, that's a tactic and a method that they've used. All right. Okay, so let's get back to the other videos. Okay, all right, so here's that. Okay, let's go here. So on my way back, okay, on my way back again, and so you're gonna see a young lady that's gonna be walking. She's wearing a black outfit with an orange hat. That's her, right? As she comes across, and again, so now here's, that was face forward Pam with the whole mentioning where she gets her nail done. So this is phase 5, right? And what they're going to do here, you see this guy stands up here. He has a bottle of water in his hand. Okay, then she's going to walk by and she's going to grab her behind. So you see it right there? Right there, she grabs her behind, just like the guy who was across the street prior to me taking Pam to work as I was waiting for her. She does the same thing, grab her behind. Then you're going to see this guy. Okay, now he's going to react. Okay, so as she walks by, she gets close to him, he turns around and he starts walking away. And he's looking at her. Okay, he's going to stop. You'll see him. He stops right there, turns around, and looks at me. Okay? Then he turns around and he walks away. Okay? Now, here's the interesting part. Okay? So, we're coming on this intersection here. All right? Okay, so we're coming on that intersection there. The phone stops recording video. I hit the record button. Okay? The video started to record again. As I approach the intersection, I'm thinking that I'm recording video. Okay? So this woman walks past. She's on the sidewalk. She gets to the intersection. At the same time, a police car comes at the intersection. She starts doing these hand signals, pointing finger. Then she starts pointing with her middle finger. Then she starts waving with her hand, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually getting this on video. I can't believe this, right? So the light changed, drove off, got on the block, got parking, and I had to wait. And when I looked, I saw that the camera shut off. So I'm like, oh, please tell me I got those footage. That's footage. Went into the phone camera section to look at the video. No video. Okay? No video. They did not want me to get that on video. And I'm telling you, I pressed that record button. That phone said it was recording. Did not record anything at all. But, you know, I'm used to it because this is what they'll do. This is when they don't want me to get certain footage of whatever it is that they're doing, they will do that. And it's kind of strange because, well, actually, it's not kind of strange because other times, you know, I'll get videos. But again, when it's so blatant like that, I won't get it. Or if it's somebody that they don't want me to put on video, I can never record that person. Okay? Because again, they have access to my phone and they manipulate it. Okay? This is what they do. All right? Okay, so let's go to the next video. Okay, so here I am. Like I said, I got parking. I started, and again, you'll see me shifting the phone so I can get good field of view off the sidewalk because I know what's coming. They're not going to stop. Okay, so here's the first person walk by. She goes, she bows her head. She walk by, looks at me, bows her head down. Okay, I mean it's the strangest thing. It's funny at times I'm looking at it, you know, because you know I'm just like, what is the bowing of the head thing? You know, I know usually when people bow their head, they bow to like, you know, like in Japanese custom, you know, you bow. You know, if you're a king and queen, you bow to the king and queen. You know, and that's it. I guess, you know, I guess, do they consider me a king? I don't know. But anyway, uh, so let's go. Let's move on. Let me try to. Okay, so here's another part here, and this is phase 6, right? When I parked up, it's all done in phases, right? So now you're gonna see uh, an older lady walking towards me. Okay, I'm just gonna let it play. I don't know how long it's gonna take for it to start walking towards me. So here she is. Okay, so as she gets, you know, in my field of view, she starts. She takes out white tissue paper. Okay, and she started wiping her eyes like she's crying. Now it's not that cold outside to where your eyes are tearing, and allergy season has been passed. Okay, and it ain't even. I mean, it's spring, but we're still like in that transition between winter and spring. Okay, so she starts, and you know she's not. She'll wipe her eyes and then she wipe her nose. Okay, yes, this dude. He walks by, nods his head at me. Tell these people something else. You know, but just I just wanted to show and explain the sickness. Okay, and this is something that, you know, religious groups do. You know, this is occult behavior. Okay, again, she walks by. You'll see. Let's go back. Come on. Okay, here she comes. Again, see she walks by. She's doing this. It looked like she was doing that. I'm not sure if she was or not. Okay. Okay, guy with the red hat walks by, bows his head again. Let's go back again. You see him walk by. Walks by, looks at me, bows his head. I see you. I see you. Okay, I'm trying to get to the perp neighbor. All right, so there he goes. Okay, so there goes the guy that lives across the street who used to call the fire department, okay, on a regular basis because they were using him to target me, okay. And as you see here, as he's looking at me, he stops, okay. Again, he looks down. Now, why is he looking down? What does he have in his hand? Okay, he has a blue object in his hand. Remember, color is a big part of this program. They condition you to colors. They use colors to condition you to convey a strong emotion, okay, a feeling. Um, because colors are used to change your mood, to affect your, you know, your mood, your feeling, your emotion, and so they use that. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of videos that I wanted to show because again, the use of the police, but I don't want to make this video too long. But again, Coercive Persuasion Program. Okay, this is what it's all about. The psychological warfare against those of us who call ourselves targeted individuals who are exposing the uh, non-consensual human experimentation program, okay, the illegal microchipping of individuals for the purpose of remote neural monitoring, the experimentation of these technology in, uh, you know, real life situations, okay. And again, let's go over the psychological tactics being used. Okay, tactic one: increase suggestibility and soften up the individual through specific hypnotic or other suggestible increasing techniques such as extended audio, visual, verbal, or tactile fixation drill. Okay? Excessive exact repetition of routine activities, sleep restriction, and or nutritional restriction. Tactic 2. Establish control over a person's social environment, time, and source of social support. So that means the minute you walk out of your door, they have people watching you, people engaging in psychological harassment, psychological warfare. They have control over your time. Okay? Your source of social support, they will manipulate them using the technology, or they'll go to them and threaten, deceive them into participating in this. Prohibit disconfirming information. Now, this happened a lot where we as TIs, when we talk about certain things and we mention certain things, they will drop our calls because they don't want us talking about it. Tactic 4, make a person reevaluate the most central aspect of his or her experience of self and prior conduct in negative ways, which is not always negative. Okay, sometimes they do things to make you negative because again, there's a narrative that they want to paint. There's a narrative that they've told people about you that they want to paint, and in order for them to do that, they have to manipulate you in a negative way. And they use a variety of methods. So let's say if they want to say you are a person who sexually assault women, you may go out on a date. If you're single, you're dating, they may drug your drink as well as your date's drink. Next thing you know, you're being charged with date rape. Okay. What else? They will use people to break up your relationship. Okay. They will make you believe that engaging in a negative act will yield some sort of financial reward. Okay. Also, they will make you believe that engaging in a negative act that you can have all the women you desire. Okay. Now, does that sound like some serious brainwashing going on here? All of these things I've experienced, except for well, no, I have with all those things, except for it being, the sexual assault thing, which is what they're trying to do now. Okay. All right. So efforts are designed to destabilize and undermine the subject's basic consciousness, reality awareness, worldview, emotional control, and defense mechanism. So when they do this to you, if you don't know what's being done to you, even if you do know in the earliest stages or the first few years, if you don't study what is they doing, they will control every aspect of your life. Okay, including your emotion, including your ability to think for yourself. Okay, and they will make you believe whatever it is they want you to believe. Okay, tactics 5, create a sense of powerlessness. A lot of times, I'll say, listen, these people, I mean, nothing is going to be done to them, you know, and that's why we have to document, because even though they may create a sense of powerlessness, you still have to believe and have hope that these people will get exposed for what they're doing. Okay, and then tactic 6, create strong aversive emotional arousal, and this happened with me and Pam a lot. Okay, and when she does certain things, I'm upset. I leave. Start. We start arguments and stuff like that. And what I have to learn, or what I start doing now, is trying not to be so upset. Try not to, um, you know, uh, just leave, because I realize that they may be using her through the technology, as they do to my kids, also to psychologically target me. Okay. So create strong aversive emotional arousal in the subjects by use of non-physical punishment such as intense humiliation, loss of privileges. Again, that's the whole reward and punishment, the whole sex thing. Or we're going to deny you. If you try to talk to women, we're going to go to them and have them not talk to you. That sort of thing. Social isolation, social status change in terms of losing job and not being able to find a job that pays as well as your previous job, or they will basically destroy your career, whatever that is, where you have to now try to get into a new career, okay, because you can no longer work in the career that you used to work in. Okay, intense skill, anxiety, manipulation, and other techniques. And tactic 7, intimidate the person with the force of group sanctioned secular psychological threats. For example, may be suggested or implied that failure to adopt their approved attitude, belief, or consequent behavior will lead to severe punishment and or dire consequences such as physical or mental illness, the reappearance of a prior physical illness, drug dependence, economic collapse, social failure, divorce, disintegration, failure to find a mate, etc., such as setting you up so they can incarcerate you or throw you in a mental institution. All these things apply. Okay. So this is what's going on, and I hope I'm able to explain it in a manner in which you guys can see and understand, what this program is all about, okay, and what they're trying to do, and the lives that they are destroying, okay, in order to cover up their non-consensual human experimentation program, okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video.